Afternoon. Welcome to the Board of Health meeting, September 15th, 2025. Please note this meeting is being recorded and will be available shortly hereafter for scheduled and on-demand viewing on any smartphone or tablet device. If anyone else is interested, if anyone else is recording this meeting, please notify the chairman. Pursuant to Governor Healy's March 29, 2023 signing of the Act of 2023, extending certain COVID-19 measures adopted during the state of emergency, suspending certain provisions of the open meeting law until June 30th, 2027, this meeting of the Chatham Board of Health is being conducted in person and via remote participation. Every effort will be made to ensure that the public can adequately access the proceedings as provided for in the order. A reminder that people who would like to listen to this meeting while in progress may do so by calling 1-508-945-4410, and the conference ID is 338-085-77#, or they may join the meeting online via Microsoft Teams through the link in the posted agenda. While this is a live broadcast and simulcast on Chatham TV Channel 8 and 1072, despite our best efforts, we may not be able to provide real-time access. We will post a record of this meeting on the town's website as soon as possible. And now I'll turn the meeting over to our chairman, Dr. Noble Hanson.
Thank you. It shall be the policy of this board to conduct its meetings under the open meetings law so as to encourage public participation whenever time permits and as part of agenda item discussions. We have four things on the agenda today, but first let's establish a quorum, and when I call your name, please say present. Carol Boyce.
Here.
John Beckley.
Present.
Ron Broman.
Yeah.
Ron Weiser.
Present.
And Noble Hanson present. So we have a quorum. And first on the agenda is a variance hearing for R&S Nominee Trust, William Litchfield trustee, 144 Chat Harbor Lane, tie-in bond. Do we have someone here to present the request for the variance?
Yes, we do. For the record, Sean Riley with Tie and Bond, representing the applicant at 144 Chat Harbor Lane. For any of you that were on the board 5 years ago, this had come before the board as part of the real estate transfer for a new system for the existing dwelling. Since then, we have gone through the motions of having a new dwelling proposed, and the permit that was issued for the variances with the original permit has now lapsed. So we are back with essentially the same design, same location, same bedroom count. We are getting a little bit better with our variances. I think we're a couple feet further away from the coastal bank than we were with east-southeast design, but essentially same location, and just looking for the variances to put in the new system to replace the old failed system. And with that, I can open it up to any questions, or I could walk you through the plan.
So just quickly first, the plan for the septic system that's in the current plan, is that the same one you're saying that was approved for a variance in 2021 by the Board of Health?
It's essentially the same. We have a slightly different configuration. We've got 3 chambers, if you can see my screen. We've got essentially chambers in stone, same as the last one, same general location at 60 feet. This was the last one here at 60 feet from the isolated wetland. Really, the only difference is that we're not utilizing the existing septic tank. We're putting in a new septic tank, which is now further from the resource areas than was previously approved. So this is the current design here. You can see the septic tank is to the right of the soil absorption system. I'm just going to highlight this for you in green, or purple, sorry. And it was located over in this location over here within the last go-round. But essentially the chambers are in the same location as they were with that last approval.
Okay, thank you. Are there questions or anything from the board? Okay, so there's always the same question. There's a either a wetland or a coastal bank in, what, east, west, and south. So is it possible on the lot you have that this could be located in such a place that would have less of variance offsets? It doesn't look like it, but I just asked the question.
There is, and they went through painstakingly marking out the trees that it would take to remove this. And the benefits would not outweigh the deficit of moving it up into that area. I think there's 140 trees that they marked out. It would require a trunk line to get up, the force main to get up through the woods, up to that higher point. So the case was made that this would be the most environmentally friendly. It's only a 3-bedroom design. It is on the sound. It's not in an estuary. So it would be the most environmentally friendly design.
Okay, thank you. And then it looks as if the existing septic tank is not on the property. Is that correct?
Yes, that's correct. The field itself is not on the property. The tank is, the field is not. So that leach pit is to be removed.
Right, so that's a big plus.
That is a big plus.
And then, does anyone have questions about the house design and the number of bedrooms and all that?
Is the driveway on the property?
So they have an easement across the other property to get to this property. This is a pre-existing non-conforming lot in that there isn't access from Chat Harbor Lane as there's a marsh that essentially bisects the property in the back. So they have an easement to come across the neighboring property on the west side to get to the property.
Okay, thank you.
And yes, there's 3 bedrooms. There's an office or den, but there's a 6-foot archway to it, so that wouldn't count as a bedroom. And then the total
Correct.
house count, total room number is not that high. There's 2, neither room in the basement could be considered a bedroom, correct, Judy?
Yeah, no, the only room in the basement, part of it's unfinished, and then there's a laundry room, which wouldn't,
And it's labeled entry hall.
then, yeah, I'm not sure what that is.
I think it's-
Is that an open area, the entry hall? Do you know?
It is.
Sean?
Yes.
So that's
Just to try to get to
outside?
that plan view. That is, you've got to enter through there to get to the stairs, to get to the upstairs.
Okay, yep. Yeah, so no, there's nothing in the basement I would be concerned about. And,
Okay, and then I'd say Judy's memo, she hasn't explicitly stated whether she approves this for the Board of Health, but I assume that she is in agreement.
yeah, I don't have any issues with this. My wording was unusual on this one.
Should you approve these variances? You recommend it.
Right.
Okay. Other questions or comments? Any input from the public? Okay, I think, can I get a motion for a vote?
I'll make a motion, we approve the application.
I'll second it.
Would you like me to read the conditions?
Yes, could you read the conditions, please?
There's 3 conditions. The applicant should restrict the property to a maximum of 3 bedrooms and record the deed restriction at the Barnstable County Registry of Deeds. The applicant shall submit a copy of the executed deed to the board. The engineer shall submit an engineered as-built plan, including as-built elevations with a written certification that the system has been installed in accordance with the approved plan, and no alteration to the floor plan of the dwelling will be allowed without further review by the Board of Health or its agent.
Okay, and then when I call your name, if you approve of the variance, just say yes. Carol Boyce?
Yes.
John Beckley?
Yes.
Ron Broman?
Yes.
Ron Weiser?
Yes.
Noble Hanson, yes. Okay, so that variance is approved.
Thank you very much. Have a great day.
Thank you, Sean.
Okay.
Where's mine?
Did you grab my, this?
Sorry.
Okay,
All right.
the second item on the agenda is a Board of Health vote to reduce or waive short-term rental fines for Granger, 49 Old Queen Anne Road. Properties are, 49 Old Queen Anne Road, 6 Sabins Lane, 258 Orleans Road, and 878 Main Street. And I guess Judy can present this. They have been in contact with Judy.
So we're starting with the Grangers.
Yes,
I lost my,
yeah.
I've spoken to David Granger and Evelyn Granger. After the last meeting, there's been some miscommunications. Mr. Granger had not received it, as we talked about at the last meeting. He since received it and paid all the not the fines, but he registered the properties, and he asked that we could reduce them or dismiss them. I talked to town council, and town council said we can do that just in a regular Board of Health vote, that we don't need to go to court, and we can just let the court know that we've dismissed it. So with discussions with Karen, our short-term rental, we feel that just reducing the fines to 1 day, $200 fine, just to cover our costs of the work we've done we think that would be adequate if the board agreed.
$200 total, or?
Total, yeah.
And importantly, the town attorney has told us we do have the power to reduce or waive the fine at our discretion.
Correct.
So I think that there was, is this one of the persons that said he was not aware initially that the period had begun?
He never received the
Yes,
letters
right.
about the hearing or the
Is
the
this
ticket.
the thing where he and his wife were separated and they weren't
Yes,
communicating
and
and?
he is on the line if you,
Okay.
yeah. But yes, it's that one. There was miscommunications between them and us, apparently.
Yeah, and I think, I would just point out that this is our first summer, this is we're beginning this and we're rolling the thing up, so it's in a startup process. But I think the lack of communication, if that's what it was, to me, explains one of the big reasons why we need the short-term rental, because one of the things it does, when you register, you put the person responsible for the property and the contact number, so they're immediately available to somebody like Judy to straighten all these things out. So that's a big, important thing for the short-term rental. But I would ask, any questions or comments on the board about what we should do? We started the discussion last time. I'll just start it. I'll say, I think what we talked about was, what we're trying to do right now, and I think Ron agreed with this, was get people registered. And it's a startup process. We're not particularly finding people, it's getting the short-term people registered. And so this owner is registered, so I would agree with Judy and Karen's proposal to have one fine that covers our costs, but reduce it just to 200 total. To me, that sounds pretty reasonable.
I would agree. I think as we said before, we're not trying to be punitive. We're just trying to get people registered. I guess the question I would have is, and it sounds like from our last discussion, we're batting 98% maybe in terms of getting people registered. I guess the question I would ask is, so when we finally go case by case on this last 1 or 2% and find out where the flaws in the system are, get them registered, will that make the process then, you're saying, Noble, it'll make the process infallible then, right? We will have a place where everybody has contact information, everybody is registered.
I would say it will be much improved. Infallible is quite a strong word. I would say one thing.
It's a
just for my
stretch,
own-
it's a stretch goal, but
know
I
what you
mean, I
mean.
think that's what we ought to stretch for, so.
I would say one thing, just being around, there are renters who have been renting for a while, their property, and they have people that come back every summer, and they have a list of people who might be interested. So they are able to rent their property for the entire summer without ever advertising on Airbnb or going on the internet or listing it with a rental agency. I don't know how many, we don't know how many of those people there are, but I'm pretty sure there are some because of Chatham and the desirability, and a lot of people come back. So, but I think we are in a startup. And it's going to, and this is the problems that we've had here, you know, will be solved if there's one contact person instead of a trust or something, and you have a phone number. And then Judy can talk to them right off the bat and get things squared away.
But I think the example you gave is legitimate, but also probably very small.
Probably.
And, you know, I think
this point.
in time, we'll probably get better and better and better. It sounds like we're doing awfully good right now.
I think so.
I would say so, yeah, we're up and around 1,000. So and this is the first summer, and Karen didn't start work till when, May? April?
Over a year ago. A year ago, May.
A year ago, May.
Yeah.
Okay,
She didn't start inspecting until this summer,
right.
so.
Okay. Other questions or comments? Yeah,
I'm okay with the concept here.
Oh, yeah.
I'm curious as to whether $200 will truly cover our out-of-pocket, an estimate of our out-of-pocket, or is this kind of a grab number?
I mean, it's an estimate. I mean, you
Right.
know, the amount of time it takes her to produce the letters and get them mailed out. That's basically all we're,
And the lawyer, the legal fees?
well, that.
You don't really see that
I don't see
item,
that,
right?
so,
Okay,
he's on a retainer, isn't he?
but, yeah, I believe so. I don't, we're comfortable with 1 day fine,
okay.
so.
And I think the fact that the owner, as soon as he was made aware of the situation, was very prompt about coming in and dealing with it.
Right.
So
Okay.
you know, again, not to be punitive, one day seems quite fair to me.
And I think this has also shown us how important it is to post the
Well,
the letter at the house.
that's the other
Especially at
takeaway.
least for the hearing part of it, because in the next case too, you'll find that the people didn't even know about the hearing until after it already had been held.
Well, that's
So-
that's an issue we have to,
So if we can
Pin
at least
down.
post it on the property, then if the owners themselves don't see it, at least the renters will see it and we'll let them know.
gotcha, okay.
And I think there was a good article in the Chronicle, the local paper, that gets more of the information out to the public, so
Yeah, I don't know if you read the article.
That was a good article.
it was helpful.
I think it gave a lot of good information and
Okay, any input from the public?
This is David. Thank you all for the assistance. I appreciate you giving me some relief, and thank you very much, Karen. Great process. I'm glad I know about it, and we'll take care of things moving forward.
Okay, that's Mr. Granger?
yes.
Yeah, great, thank you very much.
Yes.
Other input from the public?
There's one person, Sonia Bartlett.
Yes, hi. I don't believe I'm on your agenda. I had attempted to try to get on. I am in a similar situation, it sounds like Mr. Granger was in, that I received several communications all on the same day. All came on September 11th, but they all dated way, way back. So I was not alerted to, I had no idea that I was doing anything wrong until much, much later than intended. And I did call Karen and she helped me to register and all that. And she suggested that I join the meeting today, but I'm apparently not on your agenda. And I'm just wondering how
I
do I?
think you
remedy
are.
that?
Are you 41?
Oh, I am. Okay.
41 Harbor
Yeah,
Hill?
yeah, yes, I am. Oh, okay. Great. I didn't see that. I'm so sorry.
Are you 41 Harbor Hill?
Can we finish up the other one?
Yes,
and
I
go to
am.
her?
Okay,
Yes.
yeah,
So give-
you're the next on the agenda. We're doing them
Oh,
one at a
I'm so
time.
sorry. I'm not see that, and I thought with my wonderful technological skills, I had not sent the right thing in. So I apologize, and I will be quiet.
Just hold, hold your thoughts, and then we'll revisit them in a moment.
Right, I think the same discussion would apply.
Right.
Okay, did we get a motion for,
I'll make a motion to reduce the fine to the $200.
and a second?
Sure, I'll second it.
Second it, and this is for the Granger properties.
Ranger.
And then I'll take a voice vote. When I call your name, say yes. Carol Boyce,
Yes.
John Beckley.
Yes.
Ron Broman.
Yes.
Ron Weiser.
Yes.
And Noble Hanson, yes. So that is all settled. $200 fine for all the properties for the Grangers. Thank you.
You need to have a gavel.
You can get him one.
I think my wife has that.
Dinner's ready.
I'm sorry. Third on the agenda is Board of Health vote to reduce or waive short-term rental fines for Leeward, 41 Harbor Hill Road. And Judy, you can present.
So, similar situation, we didn't hear, and she didn't get notice of the hearing, according to an email she sent today, until after the hearing. But once Karen was able to get in touch with her, she took right away, got the property registered, so she's up to speed on that.
Right. And what is her last name?
Mark?
Bartlett.
So this is Sonia Bartlett.
Bartlett.
So it's, our owner is under Leeward Mark LLC?
Yes, I have it in an LLC currently.
Right. Okay, so it's basically the same discussion. Again, I'd say it points out that once the short-term rental thing gets up and going, we'll have a contact person and a phone number, and then Judy can call directly and get things like this squared away. So it's going to get improved as we go along.
Good.
And Judy, now, do you have a recommendation or?
The same thing, I would recommend it just be reduced to the one-day fine of $200.
Basically cover expenses?
Yes.
Yeah, I would agree with that personally.
Do we know why, where was the flaw in our communication system?
Right.
Sonia, can you answer that?
Yeah, so it's interesting, a couple of things, it's really weird, the mail is so bad. I got a bunch of mail on September 11th, and then a bunch more, like, when I came home last night, so it must have come on Friday, because I went away for a couple of days, or Saturday. But it's really weird, because it's all over the place with when you mailed it. And so I looked into it. I have on here for my mailing address is 25 Hilltop Place, but I actually live at 23 Hilltop Place. And believe it or not, a year and a half ago, I moved next door, but I changed my address with the town. So I called around today, and all the departments in the entire town have the correct address except for your department. And I don't get that. So that's one
We go by the
to me.
assessor's record, so did they have you at 23?
Yeah, they do.
All right, we'll have
And
to
then, yeah.
check that.
The other wacky thing is just with this certified mail, like, why does it seem to go around in circles? Now that I'm in there with my email address, obviously things will be much easier, but I think one of you had previously said that it would be good to have a paper notice on the door. If there had been a paper notice on the door, I would have definitely gotten that right away. And I'm a total rule follower. Like, I was telling Karen, like, I couldn't sleep that night when I got that letter from you guys. I was in such a panic that I had missed something. So I apologize, and I respectfully request some relief with this issue. It was out of no malice on my end, just communication problem.
Okay, thank you. And what town do you live in now? What town do you live in?
I'm in Chatham a lot,
Oh,
and
you're-
then I'm off Cape in Westchester County, New York right now.
So the mailing address is
Right,
It's 23 Hilltop Place,
right,
Rye, New York.
Rye, New York.
right.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
And we have her recorded now, so we have all the updated information in
Okay.
the-
Okay.
in the portal.
Questions or comments from the board? I think same thing applies, and I think this comes in, one of the unexpected things that we're working out as we get started, so.
Yep.
Any input other input from the public?
I'll make a motion, we proceed with reducing the penalty to $200.
And that's for Leeward 41 Harbor Hill Road.
Correct.
Okay, and no input from the public, so we'll go ahead and take a vote, and when I call your name, please say yes if you agree with the reduction. Carol Boyce,
Yes.
John Beckley,
Yes.
Ron Broman,
Yes.
Ron Weiser,
Yes.
and Noble Hanson, yes. Okay, so I think that's all settled. And you're all set.
Thank you very much. I really appreciate it.
I
Thank
think
you
it's
for your
more,
time.
part of it is just the startup process that,
Yeah. I think people know that this is very well intentioned. I just think word for some reason hasn't gotten out completely, that's all.
but hopefully now Judy will have direct contact with you, a number, in case anything comes up.
That's
Thank you very
right.
much.
Thank you.
Been on it. Thank you so much.
Okay.
All righty. All right, fourth on the agenda is
Moving right along.
a discussion review of the bedroom format for our nitrogen loading regulation,
I got-
which we put together. So this is an ongoing discussion. It's been discussed a couple times before.
I have that.
And I think Judy has enclosed a copy of the current wording in the Chatham Board of Health Regulation, determination of bedroom count in residential dwellings, and then,
Oh,
no, Judy put together the new one,
so,
Which is-
actually, what I gave you this week, just to clarify, was the policy that we worked on, that we copied from, basically from Hingham. We kind of discussed at length, which is more of a narrative format. And we kind of had agreed upon that. Did you find it, John? And then I put together, I took this, the policy, and I converted it into a regulation. Our town council felt that we couldn't do this as a policy. It has to, he felt that it should be codified.
Right.
And I was kind of struggling with how to, because as I told you before, it's two of our regulations have a definition of a bedroom in it. This nitrogen loading regulation and the subsurface sewage disposal regulation, which is basically our local Title V reg. And it's an awful lot to put into a regulation, so I thought, make it its own separate regulation. I mean, we don't have to do it this way, but I just figured it's pretty cut,
So,
short and clear, and
so this document you've given us here, Chatham Board of Health Regulation, determination of bedroom count in residential dwellings, that is the written in regulation form from the
From the-
preliminary document we had before, policy for determining the thing
Right.
that mimicked Hingham.
right. And a lot
So,
of these things
we need
are-
to look at this final one and see if it goes along with what we were talking about with the rewrite of the Hingham policy, which was pretty good.
Right.
One question, Judy. On this draft, on the back page at the top, it says, however, such rooms shall not be classified as bedrooms if the detached structure lacks any one of the following domestic features. Why shower?
Right. You can have a bedroom without a shower.
Exactly.
Or a
What-
toilet.
That's up to you. That was in the Hingham.
I agree.
Usually when I've reviewed these in the past, if it's a detached garage and it doesn't have a bathroom, I don't count it as a
But the
bedroom.
functional part of the bathroom is the toilet.
Yeah,
You don't have to have a shower
shower.
in order to have.
but, right, you don't. You certainly
And
don't.
so why would you want to knock out what would otherwise qualify as a bedroom? Because the facility doesn't have a shower, but does have a
So
toilet.
this is just in detached structures.
Right.
So we're talking about
Doesn't matter.
Detached, yeah.
rooms over garages that are detached.
I don't see why the absence of a shower would kick that out.
We can take that out. That's just totally
Well, I mean, I
up
think
for
that's a-
discussion.
Reasonable, and this is just their subjective idea of a detached dwelling and what you need to call it a bedroom, and they're saying they think you need a shower, but it's very arguable that you don't need a shower if you have a toilet and heat.
Right.
I think if somebody came to us with a detached structure that looked and smelled and felt like a bedroom and had a toilet next to it but no shower, we'd call it a bedroom.
I think so. That's the point I was making.
So,
So we'll take that out.
Yeah,
Right. So usually, oftentimes we'll get like unheated pool houses and things, which can be difficult because people will go in and add that in after the fact, or they'll put one of those split
yeah,
things.
we never can control that, looking at a plan,
Right.
what they do later, and there's probably some of that.
So if it doesn't have heat, but it has a toilet, and it's a pool house, usually, I mean, it gets kind of tricky.
I think we're gonna end up having to live with a couple of small exceptions, and that may well be one of them.
Yep.
I mean, for the greater good.
And there's always some element of discretion when we
Yeah,
interpret
at
this
the
and
end of
what
the
we see.
day,
But let me just clarify a door opening of less than 72 inches, which is 6 feet, or if greater than 72 inches is adjacent to or includes an ensuite full bathroom. What's the thinking there?
The room should be, if it meets one of the following.
I get,
So if it has less than the 72 inches,
yeah, that doesn't create privacy,
right.
or does create privacy.
Right.
Does create privacy. If it's greater than it,
We've seen rooms with 72-inch openings that have full ensuite bathrooms in them.
right.
okay,
So
the
if they have an
bedroom-
opening
this is
that's greater than
extension.
6 feet,
So it
but
goes
there's an
back to,
adjacent ensuite full bathroom, then we're gonna say, what Ron would say, it looks and smells like a bedroom.
Bedroom.
yeah, if it looks like a duck,
Okay,
right.
Okay.
But what if it has what if it's 72 inches, but it has the bathroom?
Right,
then
And
You're
it would be
saying
considered a
if it's
bedroom.
less than 72 inches.
less than 72 inches, it is a bedroom.
it is a bedroom.
Because-
But what if it's 72 inches with a bathroom?
That's
It's
right,
still a
there's no,
It's still a
this
bedroom.
is less than and above more. What if it's exactly 72
Exactly.
inches?
72 inches plus a
It should be
plus a
or
bathroom.
less, one way or the other.
72 inches plus a bathroom is a bedroom.
72 inches or less,
Well, you,
So you're talking about,
right now, how do you
Okay.
interpret a door that's, a room that is exactly 72 inches? You're not capturing that in your definition.
okay,
Yeah, but that's an easy, yeah, I agree, that's an easy change. Just
just say of,
change it to
72
72 inches
inches.
or less.
Less than
72
or
inches.
equal to.
That's or equal then, right.
or less, yeah, okay, I'll fix that.
and then the other thing that comes up is, on the last in that list, degree of privacy. How do you define has a degree of privacy? One way is if the opening is less than 72 inches, then you have privacy. But I think there are some other qualifications in the previous document.
How do you
It comes up,
quantify-
it comes
how
up
do you
with,
quantify a degree of privacy?
it comes up with
Well, I
laws.
think that this is where we're seeing these bonus rooms, off of a mudroom area, that they may have a open stairway and open at the top, but
Kind of a
it,
judgment call.
but it's so I think that's what we're trying to get at here, is that these rooms are gonna be counted as bedrooms.
Yeah.
Yeah, in the Hingham document, in the very last paragraph, take a loft, for instance, so it'd be second floor, and it might be open to the downstairs as a loft, In the Hingham document, it says a loft accessed by a stairwell less than 5 feet wide or a spiral staircase, which must be 5 feet, is a separate room regardless of its openness to the room below. So that further defines the loft, but it points out what a loft can be a second floor room that is open with a rail, open to the floor below, and accessed just by a regular stairwell. That would be considered to have enough privacy to be a bedroom by the Hingham document. So in what Judy has written in this new document, it says lofts with limited access. So do we need to define better a loft or limited access? That would be my question.
Yeah.
Lofts with
Because it
limited
gets to
access.
this thing, a degree of privacy, which is, I mean, it's always subjected to some extent, but I think in the Hingham document, it was defined a bit more.
I think if you
And the-
were to, I think if you were to put in those additional items that were in the Hingham document, it would make it easier.
Right.
Yep,
Yeah.
I think it would make less
Subjective.
need to arbitrate.
Yes.
Yeah, so I would be in favor of adding those additional comments.
Yeah, I would, I think too. The other thing that comes up is, are there other, people have other, okay, the other thing that was covered in the earlier document, the Hingham summary that Judy did, was handling great rooms. And that, I don't know if I can find the exact language here, but you know,
Like
we
a
see many
30-foot
great rooms with a kitchen area, a dining area, and some other area. And the Hingham document said if there was any kind of pillars, partition, partial partition, rail, anything, cabinets that define the areas as separate areas, then it's not a great room, it's counted as two rooms. That gets to the whole house room count. And
Right.
I think that's probably good language
didn't-
because
yeah, I didn't grab
the great
that.
rooms are a way to architect design your way around room numbers.
right. So I'd have to add that
would agree.
to, final bedroom count shall be the greater of, whole room count. That's where I would add the part about the,
Yeah.
you know,
Okay, it says, this is the third down on the last page of the Hingham document. In an open concept design where the large space has a small dividing wall, half-wall pillars, built-in cabinetry, or other architectural features that protrude into the space or obstructs normal movement within the space and produces a defined visual demarcation shall be considered for Title V purposes as separate rooms.
yeah.
So that gives us discretion to look at a great room that's labeled as one room, but say, well, no, that's really two rooms.
Didn't we have an instance where it was a large room, and at the far side, there was a bed, right? But there was no defining features between the one end and the bed.
Was it
The bed was like 30 feet away from the
Is
other
it a great
side.
room, type
Yeah,
thing?
and, do you remember this?
I remember a bedroom, not a great room, but a bedroom that,
Was it
for all the world, looked like a bowling alley.
Is that what I'm thinking of?
Yeah, and,
Yeah.
and was counted as one bedroom.
Yeah, it had a double bed at each end.
Yeah.
And
Yes.
then the
And it
middle
was
was
30
connected
feet
by a
away.
hallway that
Okay,
was
that's what I'm
more than 6 feet. So it was like maybe 8 feet. So it had the appearance of two separate, but by our rules, we considered it just one. Although it's,
It seemed,
gets close.
it ought to be two bedrooms,
I
right?
just think that if somebody brought that again, I just think we ought to hold the line and say, wait a minute. What,
This dog ain't gonna
come on,
hunt
come on.
It'll be in again.
Yeah, so I think we can deal with that without it,
on a case.
without having to deal with it being
Right.
codified.
Okay.
But what do you think about this further explanation of the open concept design? Where it talks about small dividing walls, half walls.
No, for the same reason as the thing with the loft, I think it would be good to drop that in.
Drop it in.
I
Yeah.
just think,
Definitely, I
Further
missed
defines
that.
it,
I
yes.
can add that back into the whole
yeah,
room
I think if,
count.
so.
I like this concept. This is very nice, very simple, very straightforward, so with
The
those
one that
three-
Judy sent out?
Yeah, this is
right.
very
She's
nice.
tried to simplify it so it can go into the.
I would also add the next point about, conversely, the lack of any distinctive bump out projecting casework or pillars, even though there are regions within the large space serving different functions, would be generally considered as one room. If you've got a
So
open
that's what he's
space and there's a
saying.
kitchen, dining room,
Yeah.
family room, great room, whatever you want to call it, how can you count that as one room?
Well, that's saying that you can if there's,
This is saying that if it's one room without these bump outs,
right.
even though it's kitchen.
Most of them
dining,
have, I mean, again, you have to take them on a case by case, but usually when you have a big open space, dining room, kitchen, there's usually a big bar, like a big,
Wall
either a half wall
Something.
or a big countertop, you know.
But between the dining room and living room, there may not be.
Yeah, well, I mean, but we don't, you know, dining rooms don't get used. If it's one big open room, it's not like they're gonna separate that off and use it as a bedroom.
separate function.
I think, you
But
know.
the way it's written is you have to have some bump in for us to consider it as two separate rooms. So there's a way to
That's
design
for,
around it.
and that's just for the purposes of the total room count,
Yep.
so.
And then Judy, if I get this straight, then once we pass this into code, then those two other codes that you talked about will then by reference.
That's what we're gonna have to do, so I gotta figure out how to do
See,
that.
yes, you have to
I'll either have to
refer it back to
delete
the.
those, or I'll say by reference to this
And then
one.
reference this one as
Right,
the,
as
as
for
the
the
detail.
definition of a bedroom, and I can share this,
Okay.
or this with, you know, all the designers and.
Okay.
But the process, correct me if I'm wrong, or Judy, the process from this point forward is we sort of agree with the changes, and Judy rewrites this a bit, and then we have to have a public hearing
Yep.
with the actual document and how Judy's gonna make it fit into the new regulation.
Right.
That gets posted, then we have a meeting where everybody can come in from the public and make their
There you go.
comments or complaints or whatever, and we revisit the whole thing again.
Okay.
And then we make a vote after the public hearing, and then it's the
Codified.
regulation bylaw that goes in.
Exactly.
Right,
Is that correct?
yep, so we have to have a public hearing.
Gotcha.
So right now, we're modifying this document that Judy has made up, and then, do we need to see that one more time, or schedule a public hearing? What should we do?
I think let me do one more draft so that you can see it. And then we'll schedule a public hearing, and, you know, I think we can shoot by the end of the year. It's already almost
renewal date-
October, so,
For short-term rentals is March 1st?
it's not till March, yeah.
March, so we have plenty of time to get this done before the next renewal period.
But this really relates more to
Yes.
septic
New-
variances and.
Right.
Yeah.
New
so
building.
I think that if we can get it done to get it
Right, you're right.
effective by January
Yeah.
1st, it would be good.
Okay.
And I think I can.
Right, okay,
pull that
okay,
off.
right, yeah. Okay, so then, the final discussion about any changes Judy might make to this, and then she'll
Bring back a
bring back
finished-
another one at
finished
another
doc.
meeting, and then we'll move ahead with the public hearing.
Correct.
Yeah, so let's see, our next.
So this is just
meeting
a
is
discussion.
October 6th.
We have,
Don't you think?
We have, we're gonna, on October 6th, we're gonna do more short-term rental hearings.
If they haven't
If they-
registered.
Yeah. So I'll try and get this for that date. If not, it'll be the next meeting, which is probably the 20th of October. And then we'll plan a hearing for November.
So how many current short-term rental actions remain before us?
I'm not sure, maybe like 10?
Yeah, I think she said there was 15, but she's going to do 5 at the next hearing.
In batches?
In batches, so
Okay,
we're
so
not
the
having.
next batch will be fine. Okay.
Yeah, I think it's just easier to handle that way.
Yeah.
But hopefully with all the, you know,
Well, then
coverage we've gotten, people.
Maybe it'll shake free some of those.
Yeah, and like we've discussed, as we've kind of learned a few things too, so.
Okay.
It's a process. All right, good, I'm glad this is,
I think
We'll move
that's.
forward with that.
It's more explicit, it's better.
It's a 10-year project, getting this right, right?
Oh, we're
Only
doing pretty
done
good.
We've done it a few times.
We've had some of those, but yeah, okay, that's
Trying
good.
to wind up that one.
So I would, do we need any public comment or discussion on the review of the bedroom format?
No, I don't think so. No.
Well, there's no one on,
All
so,
right, and then we have, so we've done our agenda items. Public comments, future agenda items request. We're going to talk about lead in the airport again at some time in the future. But that's to be determined when. Other items? Judy might give us a follow-up, if we can, on Mill Hill. Do we know?
Oh, yeah.
I didn't get a chance to ask Greg today if they've scheduled it yet, so.
Would you let
I
us
can let you
know by
an email.
yeah,
on that.
let us know by email what the developments are
Yeah.
on that case, so we all are aware of
Yep.
what the timing will be.
So,
Right, and my recollection is that by the contract, it's supposed to start September or November. It should be, it's short-term. I mean, it's not
We could
next
do-
year.
Right,
yeah,
near term.
hopefully.
It's supposed to be, and that was
beginning
part of the whole
October, I
proposal,
think he
so,
said.
yeah.
So,
And will that be
Time's
open
flying
to,
by.
would that be open to the public if they ask, or it would be, it's a public event, right? Is it
the cleanup,
We're
or,
gonna sit around.
cleanup? I
Well,
have people, I have
Oh,
people,
we had a lot of picnic demand.
I have people asking. So is it something we can give, when we get the date, can we give that out to people? And they
I
can-
think
they
it's
can-
all public record, yeah, I don't.
Okay, all right, that's all. All right, anything else?
Just a comment about
Ron.
the lead in the airport. I think if we're going to have that discussion, there's a few things we probably need to have come to us before we have that discussion. And one is, there is an OSHA level of lead in the air that is available. So I think if we're going to do anything significant there, we're going to have to measure what the lead in the air is. I'd like to know if there's been any precedent for a small federally regulated airport shutting down before we do anything with it. Because, I mean, this just is going to would have significant impact on the community.
Right.
And I know there is an option out there for the lead-free fuel, but as I understand it, it's unbelievably expensive and has very limited availability.
Right.
So it's not really an option.
Right.
So I think before we have a real discussion about that, those are some of the things that we really need to
Well-
think about and put in play.
Be aware, Ron, that the OSHA regulations only apply to workplace settings and only addresses worker exposures, not general public.
I understand that, but, I mean, I don't even know if there is any lead
I agree. I agree.
in the air around there. And I don't think we want to take any action unless we have some sort of an analytical assessment of what the air quality
The
is.
problem is, if you sample that, it's gonna be different today than it will be tomorrow. It'll be based upon a gust of wind this way or that way. I mean,
I'm sure there are SOPs out there for how to make an accurate and effective assessment of lead in the air. And maybe it's on multiple days, maybe it's at different times of the day. I don't know what it is, but I'm sure there's an SOP out there that we would need to.
Yeah, I think what they do is they measure lead in the ground at the ends of the runways and in the warm-up areas. That's what they've done.
Whatever it is, I'm just saying, we
Right, I
can't,
agree with
we
you.
can't do anything without any kind of some sort of
we
an
certainly
analytical
can't.
assessment.
It's the EPA and the FAA which are controlling this thing.
Right.
And for me, my thought is, it's not so much that we're going to close the airport or give them a date, but it's to keep the discussion in the public view and to put pressure on the airport or whoever's running it to move as quickly as possible to get in this 100 octane avgas with the infrastructure in the airport as quickly as it can. And that you get involved EPA, FAA, and there's a lot of information out there, I can tell you. I've looked into it somewhat, and there's a lot.
I'm not opposed to that. I agree. I think it ought,
So
whatever
we're not, I
can
think
be
this
done
discussion is
should be
not so
done.
much.
It is,
oh, we
I
wanna-
agree, it's difficult to
close it.
have the discussion when we don't really have, I mean,
Data.
data on our airport. You can look at data on other airports,
Yes, you can.
but
And what the feeling is in general. Falmouth Airport, I don't know if they banned it, but they have, it's the 90 octane avgas, which is one level lower. Not every one of the old piston aircraft can use that gas. But, yeah, so it gets complicated, but I think it's worth pushing to get it done as soon as we can. And
I would agree.
so, and it's worth, everybody can research it, because the EPA, and it has lots of information, very specific stuff, just like what you're talking about. And the other thing I've always said is, from a public health standpoint, and I think John agrees with this, because he said before, it's not that there's a level of lead above which is dangerous or bad for children. Nowadays, from a public health standpoint,
No
the
lead.
thought is that there's no lead is good, no lead, it's zero. So that is changing too a little bit, but it gets
so
to,
we need to,
and what testing would be, I don't know, but I'm sure it's been done places. That's a good comment. Any other,
thoughts for future agendas?
yeah, so that's, Mill Hill follow-up probably if it's not already gone, but it probably would be done by the next meeting.
Wouldn't that be nice?
Okay, all right, any,
I
public
can tell you
comments?
did I tell you our new sanitarian started today?
You haven't told the board.
Our new sanitarian started today.
No kidding.
Andy Grover, today was his first day. So he's a RS and a soil evaluator, so he's got good handle on septic and a lot of engineering work and
What is an RS?
registered sanitarian, which is a requirement for our job. It's a state certification.
Does he come to us with, fresh out of school, or is he?
No, he's worked,
Experience?
he's been around a long time.
Okay.
His father was a designer, he's worked for Ryder and Wilcox for
Perfect,
many
sweet.
years.
All right.
I've known him for many years.
Okay,
Lives in town, he has
Lives
a
in
young
town.
family,
perfect.
very nice young man, and, so we're looking forward to
Nice.
him being on
Did you
board.
recruit him, or did he just appear?
He saw the advertisement and he came in and talked to me.
Why did,
But you had already dealt with him before.
I've known, like I said, I've known
Right,
him for a
yeah,
long
so
time.
it's really good.
So we poached him a little bit up from Ryder and Wilcox, but he came on his own. We didn't go after him. So
what happened to,
Lucas moved on. He was having a hard time finding a place to live on the Cape. He'd been trying to buy a home. He was living in Plymouth for the last year and a
I
half.
didn't know that.
And he needed more money and more,
How long had Lucas worked for the town?
3 years full-time and then part-time before that. It was a big loss.
I'm just telling you.
'Cause I was hoping he was gonna step into my
He
job.
was the heir apparent.
Yeah.
Clearly,
Yeah,
for you.
but he's not an RS yet, so he's,
No, he's not.
he's working on that. And he went to a engineering firm, so he'll learn a lot there, and he may end up back in public health, but
So where's he gonna work next?
he's working for an engineering firm in Plymouth,
Oh, up in Plymouth where
Yep.
he lives. Gotcha,
Yep.
okay.
so.
All right.
But it sounds like this person is somebody who could grow into your job. Maybe.
Well, we got a couple people, good people now.
Good.
Karen and him are,
And
they're
Karen,
gonna,
that's
they're
right, I
gonna
forgot about
start, working, both doing a lot of different things.
Does Karen have an RS?
No, not yet.
But
And
Karen inspects, right?
she's gonna start with the food and the housing stuff, and Andy's gonna focus on the septic, and then we're gonna
So
cross-train
she
them.
she can legally inspect retail food establishments without an RS?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep, she went through the state training, and they're gonna both do the Serb Safe training. So, yeah,
The RS credentialing is required for your position.
most health departments, health inspectors, they want you to be an RS within a few years, yeah. And then for the directorate position, or the health agent, whatever it's called in different towns, it's definitely an RS, and most of the states now pushing towards master's
MPH.
degrees, yeah. So,
Okay.
So is it appropriate to say something about when our favorite local breakfast
it was in the paper today,
will open, or was it?
Yeah.
Oh, no,
yeah, or last week,
I think it's
Wednesday.
the 17th.
It's
So Larry's gonna
Wednesday, but
reopen it,
everybody,
and it'll be
please,
inspected.
everybody can't go the same day. You know?
Yeah, so,
What time does it open?
6 o'clock.
6 AM,
AM.
so,
Okay.
all right.
All right.
We're
Now,
good.
now we have minutes of September 8th. Anybody have revisions or additions?
I'll make a motion, we accept the draft minutes of September 8th, 2025.
Second.
Ron, second. Okay, and if you approve, say yes. Carol Boyce?
Yes.
John Beckley?
Yes,
Ron Broman?
Yes.
Ron Weiser?
Yes.
Bill Hanson, yes. And then can I get,
I'll make the motion to adjourn.
second,
okay, and we'll take a vote. Carol Boyce?
Yes.
John Beckley?
yes.
Ron Broman?
Yes.
Ron Weiser?
Yes.
And Noble Hanson, yes. So we are adjourned.